To our wiser last segment of the day, Toronto Raptors forward Pascal Siakam underwent surgery last week to repair a torn labrum in his left shoulder and is expected to require approximately 5 months for recovery. This year, he averaged 21 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, but the Raptors failed to make the playoffs for the first time since 2013. So is it wise or lies to say that Pascal Siakam is a player the Raptors can build around, Clarence?
I think it's wise though, because he brings them another scoring threat from the forward position, and I just think once he train more, gets his skill down pat, he's going to be a huge threat in this league, Trey. Everybody had bad seasons, so he had a bad season. Now this is his bounce back season to play better. I think it's wise that the Toronto Raptors can build around Pascal Siakam.
See, I disagree with you. I think it's a lie to say that you can build around Pascal Siakam. I do believe Pascal Siakam can be a number 2 or number 3 on a championship contender. If you remember when the Raptors won the championship, I believe it was 2019, I believe Pascal Siakam on that team, he was the second option.
That's still fine.
Kawhi Leonard is the number 1 option, but the question here is it wise or wise to say Siakam is a player the Raptors can build around? When I hear build around, I'm thinking about a number 1 option. I don't think Pascal Siakam is a true number 1 option on a championship contender. For his career, he's averaging 14 points per game on 49% shooting from the floor, but he's elevated his game the last 2 years. In 2019, he averaged 23 points per game on 45% shooting. Last year, before he went out with the injury, he averaged 21 points per game on 46% shooting from the floor. I think Pascal Siakam is a legitimate number 2 or number 3 on a championship contender. But when I hear build around, I'm thinking about you being the number 1 player on that team. So I say lie. That's a lie to say Siakam is No, I think when I hear build around, I'm thinking that you're the number 1 option. You're the man of the franchise.
Stop it, man.
You're being handed the keys to the franchise.
Stop it. Your expectations is extremely high, man.
What do you mean? If you build around, what does build around mean? Build around means you're the number 1 guy on this team.
Or the number 2
you're the
guy.
keys. We're going to hand you the keys to the franchise.
That's safe for another conversation because that's ridiculous. Richard Sherman headlines a list of high-profile NFL players who remain free agent this offseason. But the 5-time Pro Bowl cornerback who spent the last 3 seasons with the San Francisco 49ers don't want to rush his decision. So, Trey, is it wise to say Richard Sherman can help a Super Bowl team to be a contender race?
I would say it's wise. I think he can still help a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I think if you put him in certain packages defensively, I think Richard Sherman can still help you in the back end. One of these Super Bowl contenders, whether it be the Seattle Seahawks, the Packers, the Chiefs, like the Bills in the AFC. I believe Richard Sherman still can help a true contender in their secondary, and he can also bring that veteran presence to a locker room. That's something that is forgotten about a lot of times. It ain't always about what you do on the field. Sometimes it's about what you do off the field for those other young players in the locker room. Guys like Larry Fitzgerald, Richard Sherman. You want them a part of your team as you go on your Super Bowl run because they've been around the block, so they know what to expect come postseason time. So I think it's wise to say that Richard Sherman can help a Super Bowl contender, given the right circumstance.
Yeah, I think it's wise too. I think he's gonna be more helpful in the locker room over production. Not saying he won't give you any production, but I think that his impact in the locker room will be tremendous. Young cornerbacks, they're gonna be eager to ask millions of questions. Yeah. They're gonna want to be under his wing all the time. They're asking him 1,000 questions every day. So I think if you got a player like that in your locker room that can give you some type of production, but great locker room production, he's the man to bring in. Huh?
His presence alone will uplift your team.
Only if you got a full loaded corner position. You got 3 or 4 at least.
Yeah.
You don't want to go in there with all right, we only got 3 corners, so you can be the number 2.
Yeah, you don't want to give him the expectations or give him the role of being your first or second, option at cornerback. You want him to come in dime situations, when you got to bring in an extra DB, situations like that. That's where I think he can thrive in.
Right.
Now let's move on back to some NBA and talk about the Denver Nuggets. With the Denver Nuggets staring down elimination last night at the hands of the Phoenix Suns, Joker was ejected for only the 4th time in his career. Officials assessed the recently named MVP a flagrant 2 foul midway through the 3rd quarter of Sunday's Game 4 for striking Cameron Payne while attempting to dislodge the ball. So is it wise or wise to say officials made the right decision ejecting the MVP for his swipe on Payne?
So now at first I thought he swiped over him, and someone told me I should not. This girl, Susie K, she told me you should never take referee as a job. I didn't take it as like mean, and I was laughing at like, damn, you're right, because I had to review the play, and it was an uncalled for play. I think it's lies, man. I think the referees overreact, and at some point, like, different camera angles are different from what you see.
Yeah.
So you might see like, he smacked the ball, but the camera might see, I see his face like slid down, his hand slid down his face. But overall, Jokic didn't mean no harm. And with Devin Booker wasn't in the wrong either. He was coming to check for his player.
Yeah, you got to do that.
You got to do that, though. So, and I don't think Jokic mean no harm. He was just playing basketball, like you said, he was trying to change the pace of the rhythm. And the refs, I felt like they choked in that moment. Like, they think it was a flagrant too, because the simple fact he got smacked in the face, he was on the floor for so long. But Jokic ain't mean no harm. He's a nice guy. Like you said, it's the 4th time in his career. Come on, man. It's a lie. They overdid it, Trey.
I agree with you. I actually agree with you on this one. Surprisingly, I think it was lies to say that the officials made the right decision ejecting the MVP, because I believe that he made a play on the ball.
Right.
He was trying to get the ball. Like, I don't feel like it was necessarily no ill intent. I don't think he had any kind of malice towards Cameron Payne. I just think he was trying to make a play on the ball, and the way Cameron Payne, moved his body, it just looked worse than what it actually was. And then his reaction when he got hit by Joker, it made the officials think that it was worse than what it really was, and that's why they ejected the Joker in that situation. But I also believe the Joker was frustrated. Okay, yeah. I think the Joker already seen the writing on the wall. I think the Joker was ready to go ahead and get ahead of the rest of the team, get in the shower, and prepare for summer vacation. He knew they didn't have a chance at winning this game in the 4th quarter, Clarence. He knew it was over. Okay, so I think the Joker was ready to, start his summer vacation, and he got started early, and then he got jump ahead of everybody else.
I think I seen that Instagram picture. He about to go out of town, go fishing somewhere. I might be lying. So, Washington football coach Ron Rivera isn't ready to name Ryan Fitzpatrick the Washington football team starting quarterback just yet. The head coach is planning an open competition that will see Fitzpatrick, Tyler Heineke, and Kyle Allen enter training camp pitted against one or the other. So is it wise allowed to say Rivera made the right decision making a quarterback competition instead of naming Fitzpatrick the starter?
Yes, that's wise. That was the right decision by Ron Rivera, because what the hell was Ryan Fitzpatrick proving? Okay, Ryan Fitzpatrick,
he's a journeyman.
On his career, Ryan Fitzpatrick has 223 touchdowns, 169 interceptions. He's thrown for close to 35,000 passing yards.
That's good.
61 completion percentage, but he's not a proven quarterback. Okay, Ryan Fitzpatrick hasn't proven very much. It's the reason why he's a journeyman quarterback. He just isn't very good. His problem is inconsistency. So I think Ron Rivera made the right decision having a quarterback competition in Washington. You want to give guys like Kyle Allen and Taylor Heineke a chance to be your starter for this upcoming season. What the hell is Ryan Fitzpatrick proving? Nothing. So I believe he doesn't have any kind of leverage to be the number 1 starter, and we're going to pencil Ryan Fitzpatrick in as a day 1 starter. What leverage does he have? He's not proven in my eyes. So I think it should be a quarterback competition. If Fitzpatrick wins in camp, then he should be the week 1 starter for the Washington football team. If he doesn't, and Kyle Allen and Taylor Heineke outperforms him, they should be the week 1 starter. So I think this was the right decision by Ron Rivera.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's definitely wise.